Hello, good evening. Welcome in. Hopefully, third time is the charm, and we can get some. And if the videos don't play this time, I just read the article. We won't worry about the video. We're gonna try one more time though, and see what we get. So, let me share the screen. So I got my screen shared.
Disposals feature heavy-duty DuraDrive induction motors with jam-busting torque.
Well, we can mute that right now. Let's see. We can hear.
Tragic accident. That's what police say led to it. Child's death. The 3-year-old left in a hot car for hours.
It's tragic. WVTM 13's Bryce Oslin is live at BPD headquarters. Bryce, police say the little boy was in DHR's custody when this happened.
Yeah, the Birmingham Police Department say they were called to the Spring Lake area after he was found by first responders. His father says it was routine for him to be picked up by the Department of Human Resources, but he never would have thought that one of those rides would be his son's last.
Small, brilliant, bright little child. I'm talking about when I say yeah, respectful.
This is how Keterrius Sparks Jr. was found dead hours after being left in a hot car.
I know between 11:30 and 12 o'clock. I say 12:15. He should have been back at the daycare.
Police say a contract worker with the Alabama Department of Resources left the child unattended on Pine Tree Drive.
Like when he leave me, he's supposed to go right back to the daycare.
The Alabama Department of Human Resources says the employee has been terminated.
His foster parent drops him off at daycare. The transporter of DHR picks them up from daycare and then bring him to the DHR building in Beltran to have supervised visitation.
The Starks family wants the worker to be held accountable beyond losing their job.
Because it was neglect. I feel personally that he was neglected, and that's the true cause of his death.
Starks Sr. says he hopes to uplift his family by remembering his son's life.
Yes, man. I'm talking I knew how to count, knew his color, 3 years old. Knew all the animals. I'm talking about he was very intelligent.
Yes, he was, bro. Real nice and all that.
Like he was just joyful.
Yeah.
And BPD say the worker in question is cooperating with their investigation. No word if any charges will be filed, and we have yet to hear about funeral arrangements. Live in Birmingham, Bryce Oslin, WVTM 13.
Oh, I don't know why this video says they won't play. I don't need the video. Okay, so we're gonna go to the article what I was explaining earlier about the article. Give me 1 second. So yeah. How about that? Trying to share the right link for the live. Okay. All right, so what they weren't reporting, or when they first reported this, what they wasn't reporting is the full timeline of what happened with this lady. So in this article here, this is the one that showed. Okay, so this is the original. So we can see the timeline. They said the child was left alone in the car from 12:30 to 5:30 and pronounced dead at 6:03. But there's a different article over here. It says the 911 call was around 6:40, reporting that they had found him unresponsive in the vehicle at the residence. Now, if we look at this timeline, this baby was in his car longer than 5 hours. But let's go back. I don't have a lot of details as to why he was in the custody. I've been trying to find out. They real tight-lipped on this whole situation. If I find out more about whether they released anything about why he was in custody, I'll bring that. And so, from what I know, just to recap, because I know we was having technical difficulties. What I know so far in about this situation is this baby was in DHR custody. Family was getting supervised visits. The last person this baby had to visit with was his dad. They picked him up from daycare at 9 o'clock to go do the supervised visit with his dad. The visit ended at 11:30. She's supposed to be taking this baby to daycare. She went, not only did she go home, but she stopped twice in between it, because in one of the articles they released more information, and it said, let me see if they see it in here. So no, it don't say it in this one either. But it's an article out there. I'm trying to find that particular article, because when I say stuff, I like to have my information. Let's see. Here we go, right here. This is the one that I've been saying, okay. He was picked up from daycare, as we can see right where I'm at, right here. It says he was picked up from daycare at 9 a.m. for a supervised visit with his biological father. The visit ended at 11:30. Okay, she not only forgot to take this baby to daycare, but she also made some stops and then went home. So her first stop was to pick up some food for her family. Then she went to a tobacco store or some sort of smoke shop. After that is when she finally went home, and this baby still was in his back seat of his car. And this was it said more than 5 hours, because as we can see, 911 was not called until 6:40 p.m., which means she said she parked her car at 12, between 12 and 12:30.
In this week's Dollars and Decisions series, I took a trip to Hoover's Splash Pad to talk with parents about the struggle of affording summer camp and the benefit of having free summer options for their children.
Let me see. So in this article, you can hear, well, not here, but in this article, we see right here that again she stopped to pick up food for her family, and she shopped at a tobacco store. Then she went to her house, and this baby was left in the backseat of her car. They found this baby in the evening time, but he didn't dig with 108 degrees outside of the car. So that baby literally baked to death from the inside out inside their car, because the car literally, with the heat index being 108 outside, the temperature inside the car, as y'all can see, easily could have been 150 degrees or more. Whole situation just tragic, and it's like, why was this baby left here? Like, This baby should, under no circumstances, should this baby have been left at this daycare. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Watch me. We're talking about this 3-year-old. I don't know what's going on with audio today. I got to look into that, but for some reason I'm not able to get the. When I play the videos, it does not play the audio. So I'm not going to play another video. I'm just going to go over the articles, the few articles that they have in regards to this. So, and it's not a lot that they have up here about this, because this is something that just happened. They just released the first articles yesterday. Something just came out 15 minutes ago. And it happened on Tuesday. And we got the first news articles on yesterday, which was Wednesday. Excuse me. This lady went back to her house. First, before she even went home, she made 2 stops. This is a 3-year-old. This is not an infant that just sleep the entire car ride. This is a 3-year-old. I know that baby was making all type of noises and talking in the back seat. How did she not know that baby was in there? Ain't no way you missed this 3-year-old in your back seat. You got out this car twice. The third time you got out was at your house to go in your house. Not one time did you hear this baby in his back seat or see this baby in his back seat. I'm not understanding how this happened. There's nothing that can be said to justify this whatsoever, because this is something this baby was doing every week, every Tuesday. He was going to visit his dad for his supervised visits. They would pick him up from daycare, take him to the building for the visit, take him back to daycare. This one instance, this baby didn't make it back to daycare. He died in a 150-degree back seat in the inside of a car, and could have possibly been more than 150 degrees. And then on top of that, not only that, like he was in the they took him from, and we don't know what the circumstances was around this baby getting took out of temporarily taken, put in foster care, being out of his parents' custody. We don't know. They haven't released any of that information. Hopefully, we'll get more details soon. Like this, something freshly new that happened, and now I come back later when I get more information on this baby dying in his hot car in DHS custody. But my thing is, this happens to too many children where they're taken from the custody of their parents, put into the custody of children's services, and they end up dead. And we're gonna take a deeper dive into that as well. I'm not gonna do that right now, but there's lots and lots and lots of children that have been put in DHS custody only to be end up dead. And a lot of them, it's a short time later, they're not even in DH custody that long before they end up passed away, end up dead. And it's like, are y'all not screening these people when y'all put these children in DHS custody and foster care? And also, even with the transporter, the services they use to transport these babies, was using to transport this baby from his supervisor, from daycare to his visit, then back to daycare. Were y'all not doing proper background screenings? Were y'all not making sure y'all people were up? Because again, there's nothing that's going to be said that's going to justify this 3-year-old being up in the backseat of a car for over 5 hours. Because if we look at the timeline, 911 said, the police said the 911 called in and came in at 6:40. This baby left his visit with his dad at 11:30. So the baby was literally in his car from 11:30 to anywhere between 6 o'clock. If they made the call at 6:40, they had to just find that baby somewhere after 6. Ain't no way they found this baby at 5:30, and the police didn't call for an hour later. So this baby literally was in his car from 11:30 to 911 was called at 6:40. It's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's doggone 7, almost 8 hours that baby was in that car. He wasn't in the car for, they saying 5 hours because the initial timeline says the lady got home at 12:30, and then the police was called at 5:30. But if we look at what was released in this most recent police report, the police said they didn't even get the 911 call didn't even come in to 6:40 p.m. So the story not even completely clear at this point. We get different times, different. We know though for sure that the baby left daycare at 9 a.m. Had a visit with his dad that ended at 11:30. That's the last time this baby was seen alive by his parent, his biological parent. After that, he was in the back seat strapped into their car seat this entire time. And this lady was driving around making these stops, and then she went home. From that timeline, that baby was in that car for a long time because if the 911 call wasn't made to 6:40, that baby was in the car from 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 8 hours from 11:30 to 6:30. Because the car that come in at 6:40, he was in the car at least 7 hours from the time they left their visit to the time they found him unresponsive in the back seat. That baby, again, this is not infant. This is not a newborn baby that instantly goes to sleep when they get in the car and stays asleep the entire ride. This is a toddler. The only way I can say this baby was quiet and won't make any noise is if he was autistic and nonverbal. But clearly, his dad had just said in the press when he talked to the news, he said this baby was very talkative, very active. He knew how to count. He knew his ABCs. This baby was not quiet. He was very outspoken. So I know when this baby was in the backseat of his car, he was making some type of noise. We know when Thomas riding in car seats, they don't sit quietly. They kicking their feet. They making noise. They talking the entire ride until they fall asleep. Now I can understand if he got in the car and fell asleep fairly quickly, but they're not saying the lady hadn't made no statement. They hadn't even released her name. My husband said he believes she must be white because that's the only time they have the identities is when the suspect is of a certain race. We all know that because if it had been a black person, we probably would have knew the identity immediately. They ain't released this lady identity or nothing yet. I'm not going to assume they were just offhand comment. My husband, man, he thought, oh, she must be white, but we don't know. It was just a little jokey because he was like, they hiding the identity, they ain't show no picture. We know who get those type of treatments. But anyway, that's besides the point. To get back on topic, the timeline that came out, the times have been, because in one of the other articles it said that baby they called the police at 6:03 and he was pronounced dead at 6:40. But in here they said the 911 call didn't even come in to 6:40. So I'm still waiting to get the correct time. But either way, if we going by either time, him get found at 6 in the car, them calling 911 at 6:03 versus 6:40, he still was in the car from 11:30 in the morning, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30 more minutes. 6.5. He still was in the car 6.5. So this baby was in his car anywhere from 6.5 to 7 hours before anybody discovered him in the car unresponsive. And they pronounced him dead when he got to the hospital. They did try, but the baby had already overheated from inside out. It wasn't too much more to do. They just pronounced him dead when he got to the hospital. And this whole situation is tragic. I hate that this happened to this baby. That they should have some type of system in place as to make sure that these babies are dropped back off after this. If they're going to have these people doing these transports, they need to have some type of system in place to hold them accountable to make sure that they're dropping these babies off back where they need to be dropped off at before they decide to go off on run. And because she basically went ran errands with this baby in the car, went got food for her family, went to the tobacco shop, smoke shop. Then when she made 2 stops after she got this baby, there, she made 2 stops. Then went home the third stop with this baby still in the back seat the entire time. So that means for her to say she left him in the car when she got home, so she didn't take him out when she went and got the food. She didn't take him out when she went inside the tobacco shop. She just was leaving the baby in the car the entire time. As soon as she left him from with his daddy, she started running her errands with this baby in the back seat. Not one time checked on this baby after she put him in the back seat. For her to be able to leave him in the car when she got home. That means she did not look. She ain't laid eyes on this baby since 11:30 in the morning when she put him in his car seat when they left their building from their business. And to me, this is criminally negligent homicide all day long because she put this baby in this car and did not lay eyes back on this baby till 6:40 in the evening or 6 something in the evening when they called 911. Whole thing is just tragic. It should not have happened. I'm gonna come back at a different time when I find out more information. When they release more details and release the identity of the worker and all that, I'll come back with it. I can say they did say that the worker is no longer employed. The transport person, the people that the company that DHR used to transport these babies for these visas, they say that they not already fired their worker. But that's not enough. This baby dead. His family can't get him back. And we know it's going to come next with lawsuits and all that's going to come next because the baby died in DHS custody. So I wouldn't be surprised with by next week we get some updates that say the family gonna file a lawsuit or the foster family gonna file somebody. I feel that somebody gonna file some lawsuits and stuff over this. But like I said, I'll come back when we get more information on that in regards to this baby and him passing away in his hot car. I do apologize. I had to go live a couple times today because my audio seemed like I might still be having issues with my audio, but I'll come back later on once I check, see what's going on my computer. I'll come back a little later on and go back live, and we're gonna talk about some of the other babies that also passed away in DHS custody and how this is just unacceptable. And we need to get these babies need justice, and this system needs to be reformed. So this is something that has been going on. This is not something that just started happening recently in the last year, 2 years, or a few months ago. This is something that has long been happening where these babies are in DHS custody or up on to have a case open against the parents or some of the DHS investigating and these babies still slip through the cracks. This is an ongoing problem, and we're going to discuss this later on. Give me just a moment to check into my audio, and I'll be right back to finish talking about this uh, issue with DHS and these babies dying while in DHS custody.